Hello, Hellboy fans! Troy to the Max Extreme here.
That's right. Welcome back. Ghost Hunter Dave here.
Oh, welcome back.
Oh, you're just...
saying it for you.
Oh, thank you.
Together we are Imperius Rex.
That's right.
Welcome back.
Oh, you son of a bitch. So we're looking today at the second half of the Hellboy Volume 2 Omnibus, Strange Places.
Yeah.
And we're going strange places ourselves with this one because this is Hellboy's journey after he leaves the BPRD.
Mm-hmm.
Calls it quits.
That's right. Dunzo.
That's right. Hangs up his badge.
That's right.
Hangs up his pants.
That's right. Escape. He doesn't wear a cape.
No. Doesn't wear a cape.
I was going to say he doesn't wear pants, but I think he does.
He does.
Maybe short pants.
Short capris.
That's right. Men's 3/4, if you will.
That's right. So he leaves the BPRD over hard feelings of how they treated Roger and himself, both of them being less than human. Right.
Maybe a tad expendable.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going off on his own. He's going to forge his own path.
That's right.
So he heads to Africa, the plains of Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not in Africa for very long.
Well, that's kind of like, well, I guess you're right. Because, like, it's kind of up in arms, like, how long this Strange Places art kind of takes. Well, it could be months.
Yeah, I guess you don't know how long he's there before, like, the story kicks off.
Right.
So, maybe he's having a great time.
Sure.
Taking in some safaris. Probably knocked around some poachers.
Right.
In that Hellboy manner.
You bet.
So this was originally published as a 2-issue miniseries back in 2002. This is The Third Wish, which follows Hellboy in Africa as he befriends a great, long-departed witch doctor, Melomi, I believe is the name.
Yeah.
Who gives him some prophetical?
Mm-hmm.
Prophetical?
You're right.
All right.
The more you say it, I think you're wrong. But
maybe
I'll find it.
Maybe I should say it more. Who gives him some advice.
Sure. I nailed it.
Along with an enchanted bell.
Mm.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Hellboy's trip in Africa doesn't last very long, though, because he's immediately hit by a wave and washed into the ocean.
I bet he is.
And not only that, he's grabbed by a trio of mermaids.
Right. What the luck.
So, yeah. Who take him down to the Bog Roosh.
Yeah, that Bog Roosh.
They pound a nail into his head and wrap him in the bones of his enemies.
Sucks to be him.
That old thing.
He really has got. He's got his name out there. Everyone's out for him.
Oh my lord. Yeah. So what's that all about?
Boy, I couldn't even tell you. But that being said, I really had fun with this story.
Yeah.
I really liked the whole thing where because it kind of plays in two parts. It does like a whole like 3 wishes type of thing for the mermaids that end up capturing him, and this Bog Roosh being a total bitch.
Sea bitch.
Like driving that nail into his head just so he can survive underwater and be like under her capture.
Yeah.
Wrapping him in the chains, which are the bones of his enemies.
Yeah, this guy that hated him so much that when he died, that hatred like overpowered these bones and can hold him captive.
Right.
Yes, that was great.
Yeah,
some good
great
Hellboy mythology.
Yeah.
And as tribute for their service, the mermaids are all granted a wish, 3 in total, because there's 3 mermaids.
Yep.
Simple math.
Yeah.
And the Bog Roosh, just being a big fucking bitch, just does that old twist on all their wishes and just fucks them over.
Right.
They're all screwed, except for the youngest one that doesn't have really a selfish wish. She wishes like for the blade of her father's weapon to be returned so she can put it in his tomb and like get his, praise.
Right.
But even that doesn't work out very well for her. He's just pissed that she betrayed Hellboy.
It's like, why? And like his argument is like, why are you doing this? I'm dead.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
And she's like, well, I guess.
Yeah. And this guy's fine.
Yeah.
Why does everyone hate this guy?
I don't know.
And now I'm cursed to hell.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm taking you with me, bitch. So those mermaids don't make out very well.
No, they do not.
But Hellboy chats with the Bog Roosh, who has pretty sinister plans for him.
Yep.
She's aware of Hellboy's destiny, and she wants to put a quick stop in that by killing him, dismembering him, and sending his eye to the Baba Yaga, his skin to Hecate, and his right hand she's going to feed to a whale and then dump in a bottomless pit.
Yeah.
So he's all kinds of screwed.
Yeah, she's got a great plan, and I also like that the I guess the tree triumphant that are there.
Yeah,
they're
the
like,
tree trio.
Yeah, they're like, she's got a great plan.
Oh
like,
man, it checks out. That's solid.
Yeah, we can't go down there. It's wet. She's got him dead to rights and a great plan.
Yes. She's really covered all the angles.
Yeah.
That Bog Roosh knows how to get shit done.
Yeah.
But luckily for Hellboy, that mermaid's father really does a good job of parenting and convinces her to go back. She's got the spear. She's using it for good. She frees him of those chains. And the two of them team up and just beat the piss out of that old Bog Roosh.
That Bog Roosh is done for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. But in doing so, the mermaid kind of curses herself because, wouldn't you have it, there's always got to be a Bog Roosh.
Gotta be a Bog Roosh.
They don't teach you this in school, but kids, there's always got to be a Bog Roosh.
Rule number 1 of Bog Rooshes, there's gotta be at least one.
That's right. Rule number 2, no shoes on the couch. Rule number 3, have fun.
Oh, that struck me really good.
So Hellboy's like, no, you don't have to do this. And she's like, I kind of do. Go fuck off. And she blasts him out of there. She takes the dank throne of the Bog Roosh. And she's like, well, I'm cursed in this cave forever. But then, like, in a heartwarming turn of events, her father's ghost is like, no, I'm proud of you. Yeah. I'm going to stand here by your side. You know, in ghost form.
Right.
So, I mean, I could come and go. I'm not even really here, but you did good, kid.
Yeah.
And as you said, the Tree Trinity, amidst all the chaos, they get a visit from Graugotch, who's just still bitching. He's still pissed about that pig body.
God, he can't get over it.
No, and he's like, God, we really need Hellboy to die, don't we, guys? Wouldn't it be great if he died? Fuck him, right? Then he's out of here. The fairies can reclaim the world. It's gonna be great. Like, wouldn't it be great if he really suffered? He just... I just hate him, I hate him. And everyone else is like, oh, man. Pump your piggy brakes.
Jesus Christ, fella.
Yeah. What's burning his bacon?
No shit.
Wouldn't it be great if they just made big jokes about him the whole time?
Yeah. Can you believe how unbelievably tasty you would be?
But leave it to Edward Grey. He stands up for him. He's still, he's got a flag in Hellboy's corner, and he's like, hold on, Piggy.
Right.
Hold on, Porky. His history.
Hold on, Piggy.
He says, hang tight. Hellboy's story is not yet written. And if it was written, he's rewriting it. Edward's always got Hellboy's best interest in heart.
Right.
I like that. He's a supporter.
Right.
He's a go-getter.
Yeah, you bet he is.
He's a booster.
You bet.
He's one of my favorite ancillary Hellboy characters.
He's one of them. I don't know much of them. I've never read any of the Witchfinder books.
Yeah.
Are they great?
Yeah, they're really good.
Shit, I should get to them.
You should. Maybe next Hellyear. So, that is essentially the end of this book.
Yep.
The two-part Third Wish story. So from there, Hellboy's floating around.
Yep.
We move on to the island, which just so happens to be where he washes up.
Yep.
After spending 2 years floating around in the sea.
Yeah.
How does that work?
I don't know.
There's such a weird gap in Hellboy's history there.
Right. So, I guess there's never any... So he's just floating around after this, right? Like, he's got the nail out. So he's just floating around the sea.
I thought the nail let him breathe underwater.
Yeah, same. I mean, he's got the whole, like, I'm probably the bringer of hell thing going on for him, so he probably could survive pretty much anything, right?
Don't you need air to bring on hell?
Who's to say?
Who's to say?
All that hellfire burning up all the oxygen? You don't know.
Who knows? But yeah, he's just been floating around. Just having a soak.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the next 2-issue mini, and this was published in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
So he washes up on this island. Apparently, Mignola had a hard time with this one.
Did he?
Yeah, he originally created like 10 full pages. And then completely scrapped them and kind of started over. It's similar, but it's a very different story.
Mm-hmm. I read this in the library editions, and they have like all of those original 10 pages in the back matter.
And I love them. They're great.
Yeah.
It has like fungus men.
Yes.
Which is like, I want this story.
Yeah.
But I think there was also something where the movie, or one of the movies, might have been coming out around this time. And I think he was a little disheartened that audiences were going to see the Ogdru Jihad on screen before he ever officially revealed them in the books. So he was like, fuck it, I'm gonna put them out in this right now. And I'm not gonna stop there. I'm gonna give you the whole secret history of the universe and how like man was created and all this. So that's like what this is. This is like pretty much a 1-issue huge exposition dump of basically the creation of the universe that Hellboy exists in.
Yeah.
So it's a lot to roll around in.
So much so that, like, even before we recorded this, I'm like, Dave, I might need help with the island a little bit. There's a lot going on here.
Yes, but only in the second half, because it starts off inconsequentially enough, like most Hellboy stories do, where he washes up on this dreary landscape peppered with sunken ships, which I love this image.
Yeah.
It's just like this gray, deserted island with all these ship remains. And he goes in, befriends some skeletons of sailors, and just has a great chat and drinks with them.
Yeah,
I love it. It's one of my favorite parts of the story.
Me too.
Just chatting with skeletons.
Right, and they're just saying this old sailor's tale, and they're just pounding rum.
Yeah.
It's so good. And the Hellboy's like, wait a minute. Turns around, and they're all just dead. Covered in cobwebs.
Damn it! It's like, always happens.
Yeah! He takes the rum and just like hightails it out of there.
Yep. Meets up with Hecate.
Yeah.
And also we get this great panel, that classic panel of "Don't mess with me, lady. I'm drinking with skeletons."
Yes.
Same old song from her. Join me. Let's destroy the world.
Right.
He's like, get bent. I'm gonna go to investigate this castle.
Right.
Big mistake.
Turns out not so good.
Yep. So from here, the story takes a very detailed recounting, all brought to us by a new character and his journey to end the world. So long ago, this guy was killed by knights and priests for being, blasphemous to their religion.
Yeah.
His blood, which was yellow, which is strange, pools around the castle. And as Hellboy approaches, years later, a giant creature emerges, springs up, tries to gobble him up, and they go back and forth a bit there. Before Hellboy is impaled on its tentacle and seemingly killed.
Yeah.
So his corpse falls into the castle beside the remains of this heretic guy, and Hellboy's blood revives him, brings him back to life. So that's where issue 1 ends, and then issue 2 picks up with a huge exposition dump where starts off, Hellboy's in a dream state, and he encounters old Malami again, that witch doctor from Africa. Hellboy tells him he's not ready to be dead, so Malami says, like, then you should live.
It's this where he also says, I lost your bell.
Yeah. and then he's like, what? And then Hellboy wakes up. So Hellboy wakes up, and he's at the feet of that old crazy heretic guy in the castle. And he sits down to get a bit of a story time from him.
Oh boy, does he.
As he tells him about the secret nature of the universe. So I'm going to run through this quick. I'm going to spin it for you quick.
Okay.
He was a priest in the 1500s who learned everything about creation from 3 golden tablets under the city of Tenochtitlan. Which is in Mexico, apparently.
Rolls right off the tongue.
I had to look it up. That was one I actually looked up. The Inquisition destroyed the tablets, and the priest fled to this very island as a repository of knowledge, because he's like this database of everything now. There's no other record. So he's the one that knows how the only one who knows how the world began. He tells that there were 3 watchers, which are kind of like angels, I guess, in the Hellboy universe, who took fire from the air and created the Ogdru Jihad.
Yep.
bad idea.
Yeah.
I don't know why
idea.
they did that. Just as like a sculpture or something.
It's like, I bet you I could do this.
Yeah. And then they said that they were given life through like the darkness of night. So it's like, why is this thing here? And with them came the 369 Ogdru Hem. Mm-hmm. And these are like the smaller things.
Right. Like are burrowed in the earth somewhere.
Yep. They all go to war. The Watchers, the Ogdru whatevers.
Yep.
The Hem are expelled to the abyss and to the ground. And the Jihad was imprisoned in their crystal tomb out in space or whatever. The other Watchers then killed the Creator Watcher, destroying everything about him, save for his right hand, which he used to bring the creature to life. So then later, the first men, because I guess they created man too, among all this,
right,
built the city of Hyperborea, the first city of man, the Golden City, and they made the hand their sacred object, turning it into like a statue. However, their king, Thoth, was corrupted by the Black Goddess, who was like a snake-like evil figure instilling temptation across the citizens, causing the city to fall and burying the golden people of Hyperbia into the hollow earth, which we get back to in BPRD Volume 1, the hollow earth. He says, the heretic guy.
Yeah.
He says the Ogdru Hem will awaken and reclaim the earth, and that the frog monsters, which will be the new and final race of man, will raise the Ogdru Hem from the ground. He then turns into a demonic creature and fights Hellboy.
Yes.
So then it becomes a normal Hellboy book.
Yeah. I like that there's like a prehistory to all of, like, kind of history. Where there's like this race of civilization, which was like turned out to be these great, huge civilizations. An ice age happened that kind of wiped them all off the earth.
Yep.
And then like humans showed up and are kind of like almost primates compared to whatever came before.
Right, how
them.
Advanced they were.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Hyperborean stuff plays a pretty big role in BPRD.
Yeah.
Like they uncover cities, there's like enchanted weapons, all this stuff, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And this is very much like the groundwork for that.
Right.
So Hellboy fights this guy who is very similar to the creature that is also like Hellboy in Box Full of Evil.
Yeah.
It's almost like this thing kind of takes on Hellboy's abilities because it was created from Hellboy's blood.
Yeah.
Which I thought an interesting note was it's also similar to the chimpanzee from Dr. Karp's experiment, which is created using Hellboy's blood.
Yeah.
So
fun stuff.
Yeah.
Hellboy's blood.
Don't donate, man. Don't donate that shit.
No way.
I don't care what blood type you are. It's not worth it.
You're going to turn people into hell apes, or you're going to sprout so many weeds all over the place.
They fight a bit, but Hellboy's able to defeat him through some trickery. The thing ends up getting impaled. And then Hellboy's like, all right, well, I'm done here. Yeah. That's that.
That's that.
He sets out to sea.
Yep.
And as he goes, I think we get one last little epilogue type of thing where Edward Grey escorts the witch doctor Malami into the afterlife, it seems.
Yeah.
And Graugwatch is, I think we say it more emphasized every time. But we also get considerably more intoxicated. So there may be a correlation. But he's talking with Queen Mab, who I think this is her first appearance in Hellboy, and she plays a role in the next chunk. Boy, does she. Here. And he's still pissed. And he's ready for war.
There's always one level of just him. He's just always pissed.
He's a one-note son of a bitch. But yes, this is kind of like he is prepared to go to war. He's going to start some shit.
For sure.
That's right. So that is where Strange Places ends. But in this collection, we have one last addition, and that is the original hardcover is included, Into the Silent Sea. Yep. Which is a Mike Mignola and a Gary Gianni yarn. Yeah. More of a Gary Gianni one, as I found out. This was something that Mignola wanted him to write, or wanted him to do, and they left a spot chronologically in the story that comes after this to go back and tell this story.
Oh, fun.
So there's like a panel in Darkness Calls or Wild Hunt or one of those that shows him like off at sea as like the ship approaches.
Oh, fun.
But it's kind of like, we'll get to that later.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I really ended up liking this story quite a bit. This is the first time I actually got to read it.
Yeah.
And I really loved the art in this.
Oh my god, this guy is a maestro.
Yes, he is. I love... Even... It goes twofold. I love the art in this just by itself. And because it's like a sea-bearing adventure.
Yeah.
It's kind of like... Almost like a scrimshaw type of artwork.
I was gonna say, it looks like wood carving at times. And it's so fine, like so much pencil work. Yes, and I appreciate that so much. It's a departure from like a Mignola type of artwork. I don't normally like my Hellboy stuff that detailed, but sometimes it just fits. Yeah, and exactly. This one, I think this is perfect. Yep, yeah, for sure. Yeah, so it's a pretty quick story. He like gets into a boat and like comes across like almost like a graveyard of old pirate ships. Yeah. And then all of a sudden he kind of just like passes out and then he awakens like chained to the mast of this pirate ship. Yeah. Yep. And I'm like, whoa. What's going on here, Hellboy? Right. Befriends like a little cabin boy and his dog. Who's like helping him slurp some water. And there's this kind of old woman who's part of the Brotherhood of Ra, I believe, and they're kind of making it their mission to uncover all the secret history of the world. Yep. So while they're at sea, one of the sailors tries to stage a mutiny, and the captain executes him right there on deck. Right. He's like, we should kill this beast, he's no good! And the captain's like, fuck you, he'll bring a lot of penny to us. Yes. And blows his head off. Yeah, we're gonna sell him to the circus. Yep. And we also get like kind of a snapshot back to them uncovering, the Brotherhood of Ra uncovering like the Hyperborean culture. Yeah. And they have another one of those great, like they pull up this Elephant Man looking corpse, hook up like a big gramophone to him, and then hear this like haunting message from him about the fall of that civilization. Yeah. Which is excellent. Great stuff. And then that dead sailor is reanimated. He causes havoc on deck, and Hellboy has to break free and just bash him around a bit. Yeah. And then amidst all that, a big storm washes them onto a rock, and they think like, all right, well, I guess the worst is behind us. And then like a ton of sea monsters come out. Yeah. And then, so Hellboy and the crew are fighting off all these sea creatures, because at this point he's like free of his chains or whatever. And they're like, this guy knows how to beat sea monsters. Hey, look at that big slammy he's got at the end of that one hand. Yeah. But yeah, like, he's taking it to all these sea creatures, and this whole time this woman is trying to conjure this like... This big sea creature. It's almost like another Conqueror worm type of creature, but only from the depths of the ocean. Yeah. And it comes up, and she's like... Heka Amen Ra, the serpent from the beginning of the world. Yeah. She calls it. And she's like, finally, you are come to me! And then it just like eats her. She's like, shit! And then it's gone. Yeah. Like, and then he's like, well, I've had my fill. And then back down it goes, and then Hellboy's like, well, that's that. There you have it. All the sea creatures just hop back into the water. Right. And, that's... And as he hops the boy up onto his shoulders and, like, the adventure's coming to a close, the rest of the surviving sailors are slowly getting boned. Yeah, they just whittle down to skeletons. And then the boy on his shoulders turns to a skeleton, and the skeleton... Even the dog is still a skeleton with a panel of it just saying, woof. And this is the last thing I read. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, and that's a great ending. It shows him kind of like withering away as if he's like leaving this kind of like dream state. Yep. Wakes back up into his rowboat and then like washes back up onto shore. Yep. All set to the poem of like this the rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. Yeah, this is good. I forgot about how good that ending was. Yeah, it's really fun. I really enjoyed that story quite a bit. I really like the maritime Hellboy stories. Hellboy at sea. It doesn't make any sense on why it works, but it just does. Yeah. I don't know if like kind of like Hellboy in Mexico. Yeah. It's just like this perfect pairing. It works so good, and I would love to have like almost all of them like that, but of course they can't be. But I'm glad for it. Yes. Because it's got a smattering of different adventures. Yep. So that is it. That is the end of Hellboy's Strange Places, where he's just kind of like. He went out to travel the world, but he spent a hell of a lot of time under the sea. Getting hammered by mermaids and impaled by big, weird, giant worm things. Yeah, for sure. So that's it for this one. And then the next and final trade before Hellboy in Hell is The Wild Hunt. Yes. That's the last omnibus, and it's a collection of 3 trades, actually. Darkness Calls, Wild Hunt, and The Storm and the Fury.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be our last one. That'll wrap up our main Hellboy run.
Yes. I had a good time with this Hellboy run. I kind of forgot about a few stories in this, and revisiting some of them, like Conquer Worm, and like reading something like the
Silent Sea.
The Silent Sea. I really had a good time with this run.
Yeah. And even though, like, the first half feels very much like the usual Hellboy BPRD stuff, the second half seems very, like, purposeless. Like, it's kind of treading water.
Yeah, kind of.
But it's still super enjoyable. Like, sometimes Hellboy's best when it doesn't have, like, a main direction.
Right.
And it's just, like, let it just be whatever it wants to be.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree.
Yeah, because from here on, it takes a hard... plot line and goes to the end.
Right.
And it's 3 books that tell one long story, which is the only time Hellboy does this.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Same.
And then that's also when we get Duncan Fegredo to take over the main art duties.
Mm-hmm. So, Hellboy lovers out there, what do you think of this last omnibus? Is it one of your favorites? Do you like great maritime adventures like I do? Let us know in the comments down below. As always, I've been Short of the Max Extreme.
And I've been Ghost Hunter Dave.
And we've been Imperious Rex. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Happy Hellyear.
Imperious Rex. 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 Imperious Rex.
Rule number 3.
Have fun. Great.
I'm
gonna be ripped by the time I get out of here.
I was gonna say, do you need to slow down?
But I'm having fun.
Alright, good.
I'll get some McDoubles on the way home. Soak up some of this booze.
Alright, let's see. Oh boy.
Corny. Shut up. Down there.
Boneless Tuesday. Hell yeah. Hellyear. Hell yeah, hashtag Hellyear.
Very good branding.
Hold on, I have to actually do that. Alright.
She just goes, shut the fuck up.
Now I'm making a stew.